At my sister's wedding, all I was given was a stale slice of bread. My mother sneered, "That's all you merit," my sister smirked. All right, gather round, because I have a story for you. Can you imagine sitting at your own sister's 5-star wedding, surrounded by luxury, only to be served a single, dry piece of bread? That was their message to me. You are nothing. My mother, dripping in pearls, leaned in, her smile a thin, cruel line. "This is enough for you, my sister," she purred, her voice dripping poison. Then my sister, the glowing bride herself, swept past in her designer heels, casting a venomous glance at my forgotten table. "Pathetic," she hissed. I was, as always, utterly alone. No place card, no chilled wine, no name on the guest list, just that pathetic stale bread. For a split second, I had two choices: tuck my tail, retreat to the bathroom, and cry exactly as they expected. Or I could remind them precisely who they were dealing with. And believe me, I chose the latter. So I waited. Through the endless saccharine ceremony. Through the nauseatingly fake speeches about love and unity. And then when the microphone finally made its rounds, I stood up, calmly. I looked out at all of them and said, "Let's watch something special, shall we?" The lights dimmed. The giant screen flickered to life. And with one click, their entire perfect world began to shatter. This wasn't just a video. It was a confession. A brutal, gut-wrenching betrayal. A secret they thought I'd never uncover. I watched my sister's hands start to tremble. My mother gasped, a strangled sound. The groom? He froze, absolutely rigid. The entire room full of guests just stared, mouths agape. Those next 3 minutes? They changed absolutely everything. You might think this is just another messy family drama, but you'd be wrong. This is the raw, ugly truth behind a so-called perfect wedding. And it's about what happens when the quiet one finally decides she's had enough of staying quiet. So please stay with me, because this isn't just about revenge. This is about justice. And it's only just getting started. My name is Iris Whitmore, and at 38, I'd spent the last decade tucked away in a modest third-floor apartment in Brooklyn. I'm a photographer, but not the glamorous kind you see at fashion shoots or those ridiculously opulent society weddings. No, I'm more of a quiet observer. My lens seeks truth in the mundane, the wrinkled hands cradling a coffee cup, the haunted eyes that have seen war, the pure joy in a child's laughter, the worn-out sneakers telling a story. It wasn't flashy, sure, but it was honest. And in a world absolutely obsessed with appearances, I'd learned that dignity and honesty were the only things worth holding on to. I rarely talked about my family. Not because of some explosive, angry estrangement, but because silence was often just more bearable than the biting judgment I knew all too well. One cold afternoon, I was in my tiny studio editing a beautiful portrait of an elderly couple, married 50 years. As the soft winter light spilled through my window, my mind drifted. Not to the warmth of the image on my screen, but to a photo that simply didn't exist. My own family portrait. I had always been the other daughter. The one who didn't have Delaney's perfectly sculpted jawline, or her effortless charm with strangers. While Delaney preened for full story video added in below.